Howdy, people of YouTube. I thought it'd be a cool idea to jump on and talk a bit about our backstory and how we've got to this point right now. So, you're watching this YouTube video, and this channel is all about selling more with your e-commerce store, selling more with your Shopify store without reducing your prices, without spending more on ads, just basically getting more for your effort. And if you're unaware, we currently are working with clients on something we're calling Trojan Selling, or the TSM method, Trojan Selling method. There'll be links in the description below to more info on that. But I wanted to just backtrack a little bit and talk about our story and how we actually got to this point, because we didn't just arrive here. It's all been like an amalgamation of different things, different learning lessons, mistakes, fuck-ups, wins, everything that's kind of led us to this point. I'm Alex, and I have a business partner called Peter, and we've been working together now in the e-commerce space and digital education space for like nearly probably the best part of 10 years now. And it all started, if we rewind the clocks like 10 years, we both met at a company that taught people how to sell physical products on Amazon. They taught them by white labeling products, not actually building a brand as such, just building a house brand, any house brand name, and selling any product underneath that brand that would make money. So this was great because it helped people learn e-commerce, it helped people make money online, a lot of it as well. The only problem was, after a few years, actually realized that you weren't really building a long-term asset, a sellable asset, because when you are just building a house brand with random products inside it, it doesn't really stand for anything, it doesn't really mean anything. It's going to be really hard to sell in the future because there's no brand equity in there, and it's hard to cross-sell customers, it's hard to build a loyal customer base, because you're selling completely different things. So then what we kind of discovered and realized was, why aren't people focusing more on building a brand? Building a brand that has a certain type of product underneath it that serves a specific customer that can be grown, scaled, and sold if you wanted to. So that's kind of what we started to focus on. And we were working with clients in the beginning, teaching them what we learned by private label selling on Amazon. And Amazon was our bread and butter. And we still sell on Amazon to this day. Amazon's a fantastic platform for building trust, getting access to millions of customers worldwide, utilizing Amazon's fulfillment services so you can grow and scale your business without having to speak to different third-party fulfillment centers. All literally done under one roof with Amazon. So we've had massive success with that and still use it this day because it's the best thing ever, I think, for growing a global physical products brand. Then what we started to realize was only selling on Amazon is quite a dangerous strategy, because essentially you're building a business on rented property. You don't own Amazon's customers. You can't build an email list of people. You can't email customers after they bought from you. You can't do any of this stuff because Amazon owns the customer data, which is really annoying. And Amazon also has the leverage to just kick you off the platform if they think your brand is doing weird stuff or something weird going on with your products. So it's kind of dangerous in that respect because you don't have that much control. And this is where we kind of started to experiment with building our own brand off Amazon, but also utilizing our products and selling them on Amazon. So we had a Shopify store. We got really, really into Shopify, built many different Shopify stores that sold niche products, but also had our products on Amazon. So we could link the Shopify store to Amazon, have Amazon do all the fulfillment for our customers, and it was just a really hands-off experience. Shopify, obviously if you're watching this, you know what Shopify is. It's the most down-to-earth platform for building an e-commerce brand. It's the best platform. I really do enjoy using it. And then we kind of arrived at this point where we wanted to start making some more sales from our business. So we started to ask the questions, well, how do we increase conversions? How do we get more customers? And one of the brands that we recently started in the last year or so was a brand called Apex. And Apex Series started out as a goggle product. It was a product that sold mountain bike eyewear, and we started off with a goggle, a magnetic goggle, which hadn't really been done before in mountain biking, so it was quite a new thing. Within mountain biking though, and you'll find this with many different niches, that if somebody's already sold on the product, how are you going to get them to come over to a different product and try something new? So for instance, if you have an Apple phone, it's going to be really hard if someone sold an Apple phone to get them over to an Android phone, and vice versa. Same thing with goggles. People are already sold on a specific goggle brand. It works for them, they love it. How do we get them to try our goggle brand? And we can shout from the rooftops of how good and how great we know this product is. So then we kind of started to put our brains together and think, well, how do we get this product in front of more people? How do we get more people to try it? Because ultimately, that's what's going to build the trust. That's what's going to help people convert from the brand they're currently using to our brand, to this new opportunity. So we introduced this trial method. Now, we'd seen this before in a few different scenarios. So you remember the free plus shipping offers that Russell Brunson used to do, and other people, where they would say, you can get this free book, all you do is cover the shipping and handling. So it's not really free. It is free, but it's also, you cover your own back by the shipping covers kind of the cover of the product anyway, in some instances. So it's free plus shipping. And then what we also discovered was higher ticket products like mattresses and prescription glasses, things like this. People were offering very, very strong guarantees. So if you think about a big life purchase like a mattress, the last thing you want to do is buy an uncomfortable mattress, because you can't put a price on the quality of a good night's sleep. So people charge extortionate amounts for mattresses, and thus it increases the friction between a customer buying and not buying your product, because they don't want to risk buying a mattress then finding out it's too hard, too soft, it's going to ruin their back, it's just going to create conflict with their partner, whatever. And then they started to introduce these things where you could keep this mattress for 360 odd days, and if on the last night you still weren't happy with this purchase, you could return it and get a complete full refund. They were that confident in the product. So then we started to experiment with, well, how do we kind of merge these two ideas together? Because if somebody is buying a mattress, they're still fronting the money. There's still a transaction going on. And then if you don't like the mattress, you then have to get a refund. Now, this is great, fantastic offer, great, strong guarantee, but you still have to go through the process of getting a refund. Now, this is kind of the unknown for some people, because they think, well, am I actually going to get my money back? And this is kind of like a friction point for people when it comes to buying in the first place. So then we start to think, well, how do we reduce that? How do we get rid of that? And then what we did with Apex, we tested a theory. We thought, well, what about if we just put our own money where our mouth is and just give our product away to people to begin with? So we introduced a trial system where people could take the goggles, they could just cover the shipping, which was maybe like £5-10, if that, and they could try the goggles for 30 full days. So they could take them out on the mountain bike trails, test them, and only if they loved them would they be charged the remaining balance of the product, after 30 days. So they had 30 days to go and try the product, or if not, return them to us and they wouldn't be charged anything extra. And for us, this massively increased conversions of customers coming in on the front end, because it was completely risk-free. Again, they were covering £5-10 shipping, but for them to put their trust in us and try our goggles, it was a really, really strong way of building trust and showing that we were authentic people. Because there's nothing stronger than a brand, even a personal brand, who has a product or a service, and them saying, look, we believe in our product so much, why don't we take the risk here? We'll front all the risk. You just go and take the product and try it. And only if you love it, then keep the product. Fine. If you don't, no hard feelings whatsoever. Just send it back to us and you won't be charged anything extra. And what we found was more customers came in on the front end. Loads more customers took us up on this trial. So that was amazing. And then what we also saw was even more people were starting to buy the product at full price. And we experienced this with another client as well, called Jordan. We worked with Jordan, who sold pool filter cleaners. It was a $200-300 product. So it was a quite high ticket product, but also this trial offer, just having this trial offer on your page next to a full price option, people were probably thinking, well, this guy must believe in his product so much. He's literally wanting to give it away to us. So if it's a trust issue, then I'm just going to buy it out right now because he's literally saying, I'll give you this product. And there's nothing more powerful than that. And I think in the age that we're living in now, in 2025, with AI, technology, everything's moving so fast. And it's so easy to fake things. Like you can build AI fake images, videos. Literally, it's hard to even distinguish between real life and AI now. It's bloody bonkers. So in a world where people are even more skeptical than ever before, there's nothing more important than you being authentic and being transparent, because that's what people are craving. People are craving transparency and authenticity in the world of e-commerce and buying physical products online. And if you can be the person that fronts the risk for a customer, you will massively increase conversions, grow your business faster, build a customer base faster. Literally, there's no downside to doing this, which is why we put Trojan Sign together. And we've worked with a couple of clients so far, which is fantastic. We're looking to work with more people. Again, links below to that. And we're also in the process of building a Shopify app, which is built into your store, really customizable. I will share more details on this very soon. And it is just going to give you the options of like adding this next to full price product, customizing all the fonts, customizing literally everything so it matches your brand. But just having this option on your page will increase conversion and customers. I'm pretty much, I can guarantee that. And with the app, we also wanted to build something that was just a one-time recurring fee. So people weren't being charged on how much money they actually made from our service or the trial or anything like that. So we're trying to make this as no-brainer as an option for Shopify owners and e-commerce brands in general as we can. So there'll be more details released on that very soon. But I just thought it'd be cool to backtrack a little bit and show you guys where we've actually come from in the physical product space, in e-commerce, selling on Amazon, and then realizing that private label wasn't the only way to build an e-commerce business, and then started to focus on building an actual brand, and then how to build trust and authenticity with people in 2025 and beyond, because this landscape we're all living in now. So I believe that trust, authenticity is going to crush this year and going forward with e-commerce, and it's something that you must adopt. Stop using countdown timers and all this fake urgency and scarcity. You need to be taking the risk for your customers. You need to be fronting yourself. You need to be believing in yourself and your products, and that is how you're going to continue your growth with your Shopify brand in 2025. But I hope this was useful, guys. More links in the description below. YouTube's going to recommend some vids up here which you should go and check out next, and I'll see you in the next video.